Hi, I want to talk to you today about Tai Chi as a martial art. So, most people in the UK these days, when they practice their Tai Chi, they're practicing it for health and relaxation. They're practicing it for a state of mind, and they're not practicing it to do a martial art very slowly, to learn to fight slowly. There's lots of different opinions about this, but let's go back to the history first of all. Historically, Tai Chi comes from the root of a martial art. It grew as a martial art, and the martial art was suffused with Dao Yin. It was suffused with exercises and insights from much earlier in China related to wellness exercises, Dao Yin gymnastics. But the martial art was the important structure, gave it a structure. So the movements that you do in your Tai Chi, they are martial movements. These days, some people say, well, yes, that was the history, but really what we're doing is a dance. And to some extent, this is correct. And there is even some academic conjecture that a lot of the Tai Chi that we have got now is more about performance than about fighting. But also, there is a lot of evidence that these were fighting martial artists, and indeed, Yang Luchan was a famous fighter, and his family were all fighters too. So it's clear that Tai Chi has come from the root of a martial art, and the question really now is, to what extent is it the same thing, and does it matter? So it's not just a dance. But if you say, well, okay, historically it's not, there are plenty of things in life which are historically were one thing, but today they're something different, and nobody gets all caught up about them. Yes, that's true. So in Tai Chi, is it important these days, if you haven't come to it as a fighting art, if you haven't done that, is it important to understand the fighting structures, the movements, understand it as a fighting art? And the answer to this is yes. Yes, it is. Why is that? I'm going to explain now. Why it is that you, when you do Tai Chi and you do your Tai Chi correctly, your Qi moves in a particular way. So the movements are designed to enhance the flow of Qi through you. Now, you could argue that the flow of Qi isn't dependent upon the fighting movement. It's just about making the Qi flow. But there's an important saying in Tai Chi, which is you move the Qi with Yi. So you move the Qi with intent. You have an intention for the place that the Qi flows. And in order to do that, you need to know precisely where you're moving your body. And how do you understand the preciseness of it? Well, first thing you do is you look at the movement in real detail. Understanding the movement in detail makes sure that you're getting it right. So let's just begin with this, because there's more. Understand the movement in detail. So to understand the movement in detail, you need to understand where everything goes and how it goes. If I turn sideways on, and you can see that my back leg straightens and pushes the heel into the ground. When I move this way and my back leg straightens and pushes the heel into the ground, that connects a chain through my body which allows the Qi to flow the way that we want it. Now, I'm not making that movement in order to make the Qi flow. I'm making the movement because I understand that that is the correct martial movement. If you look at the way that my front hand comes, I'm not putting my hand like this. but I'm putting my hand like this. Now, even for an experienced person, just that motion changes their feeling of the chi move through them. So just doing that, and we call this expressing the chi, and we call this movement seating the wrist. I'm seating the wrist and expressing the chi. So you feel a movement, a power come out of here. Now, if you're fighting someone and this is your fighting movement, I'll turn back to you so you can see me. If I'm fighting you and I do this, maybe that will affect you. But it's much more likely to have the power to it if I pull my fingertips back and I'm attacking you with this part of the body, this part. So if I do this, I'm likely to have a powerful martial movement. See my back foot, the way that that's gone? This. See how my body turns? This. So I don't need to show you all the moves of Tai Chi as a martial art in order for you to understand it. That's really something for a much more advanced course. But I can get you understanding that if you understand the way that the martial movement goes, it makes you get into the right position. Still, you're at liberty to say, yes, I understand that. But how about you draw me a very detailed diagram of the way that your body should be, show me some pictures, and then I don't need to think about fighting. Okay. People often do that, and they say, make your movement go like this, and people copy. But when people copy, they don't understand what's important and not important. So the teacher says, do this, and they do this. Well, it's the same sort of thing, they think, but it's because they don't understand that just how important that is, and understanding the martial of it can connect you with the importance. At a much more advanced level, people look at where their opponent is, and even if they're not doing fighting Tai Chi, they use an opponent as a partner, and they work on the movement so that they can see how the movement works exactly. And that connects their brain and their body with how to make the movements appropriate. Now, there's one more bit to this, and the bit is, even if I could show you with a partner, even if I could give you loads of details, maybe you still don't need to think about fighting because you didn't come to fight. That's true. You didn't come to fight, if indeed you didn't. So it's okay not to want to fight. Nobody's going to ask you to, certainly not in our classes. So why is it then important to think of yourself as fighting? Back to the yi drives the chi. You drive the chi with intent. If my aim is to attack someone, I don't just put myself in a very good position for that. I make a feeling happen. The feeling is my intention. You don't have to be angry. Now, this is where people make a mistake. They think that my intention is, if I think about fighting, then I'll become angry, I'll be violent. And that's not the case at all. Experienced martial artists are calm, not angry. And they can still do the movements, but they do the movements calm. They still think about what they need to do, but they think calmly. Everything is Zen. So when you move, you think about the direction of your attack. And I feel this flow through to here as if I was attacking you, or if I was striking an object, let's say, breaking a board. I feel the movement come through my body, and if I imagine an opponent, I can make that move. Asking your teacher to explain the martial sides of the movements gives you an insight, and as you get further on, it not only gives you an insight, It gives you an ability to control precisely the movement of your chi. So that's it. That's why Tai Chi as a martial art is important when you're thinking about Tai Chi for relaxation and health.